Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm traveling to Lakshadweep for vacation from Bangalore city. It is right now 2:45 a.m. The taxi is supposed to come at 3 o'clock a.m. and take us to the airport. From there we're going to take a flight from Bangalore to Kochi, and then from Kochi in Kerala we're going to take a direct flight to Agatti, which is the airport located in Lakshadweep. There is only one aircraft that flies towards Lakshadweep that starts from Cochin. And so if you have to travel from Bangalore or Mumbai or Chennai, you have to take a flight to Cochin, and from Cochin take the flight to Agatti. So plan for today is the flight is at 5:50, so I have to be at the airport as early as possible. Fly to Kochi, I have a 4-hour gap in the airport, and then take the flight to Agatti and fly there. I'll see you. Okay guys, so we finally reached Cochin International Airport. It was a 45 to 50 minute flight from Bangalore city. It was really misty outside. It was an early morning flight, so yes, there was fog. I took a few video clips like you can see right now. Here I am. I have to eat breakfast right now, and then we're going to take another aircraft from Cochin to Agatti and then reach Lakshadweep. Cochin Airport has been known for the architecture and the design of the airport. It is the only airport in the world that is run on solar power, which is amazing. Right now you can see Kerala type architecture, everything. The whole airport is built with this Kerala type architecture. In fact, you can see it when the airplane lands from the runway itself. But nevertheless, the airport is beautiful. Compared to Bangalore and Kempegowda International Airport, this airport is relatively less busy, but it's amazing. Okay guys, so it's been 4 hours since we landed in Cochin. I finished eating breakfast, finished resting for some time. I finished the security check and the check-in. All of that is done. All we got to do is to walk to our gate, which is gate number 9, and then board the aircraft. The aircraft that we're flying in is relatively small, and so the bridge that connects to the aircraft isn't short enough, and so we're gonna have to go through a bus. And because of that, we need to go to the lower floor, and then we can exit through gate 9. Right now there are no planes. The airport right now is relatively less busy, and so now I'm gonna head there. So we've landed in Agatti finally. The time is 1:30 right now and I'm here at the beach. Agatti is the only island over here that has the airport. In fact, the whole island is filled with an airport except for a small village somewhere around the island. And behind me is the sea with the larger waves. That's a lot better. We're not going to go there. We're not even going to stay in this island. We're going to take a ferry and travel to Bangaram, which is another island. That is where we're going to do our water sports and activities. So we're here at the jetty, and right now we're going to take a boat or a ferry towards Bangaram Island. As you can see, the water is crystal clear. It's blue in color. I've never seen such water anywhere, even when I went to the Andaman Islands. But then, yes, I think this is the cleanest water I've seen in a beach or in an island so far. It is windy, so you may not be able to hear me clearly, but that's fine. I'm just here to tell you that I'm taking a boat now, heading towards Bangaram Island, and then we'll check into our hotel. Now, just for you all to get a clear picture of how long it took me to reach Agatti Island from Bangalore city, over 700 kilometers away, it took me nearly 13 hours. So I started off in the early morning at around 3 o'clock to the airport, picked a flight, went to Kochi, stayed there for 4 hours, took another flight, came to Agatti, and drove to the jetty. That's how it is. So we just reached Bangaram. It was a 1.5 hour boat journey from Agatti to Bangaram. It was good. I mean, the time that we came at had a lot of wind. It was strong winds, and so there were a lot of waves. And because of these waves, it took us some time to cross those waves and reach Bangaram. Finally, we're here in the Bangaram resort. Now, just to give a little bit information about the Bangaram resort, the resort is government run. There are no private resorts on this island. It's not allowed. In fact, Lakshadweep is a highly controlled area. There are a lot of restrictions for a lot of stuff, and it doesn't really make sense, but there are, and it's, you know, completely run by the central government. I'm going to show you, this is how the water looks. Now I'm pretty sure by looking at this you may now realize that there is no need for having a swimming pool anywhere else. There are no waves over here, and so you could go as deep as you want. As long as the light blue water is seen, that indicates that the area and the water here is very shallow, and so you can go up till that extent. Later on, when you go ahead and you see the larger waves, that shows that it's going to become deeper and deeper as you go inside. Now for me, I can't see any large waves over here because at a very short distance I can see 2 more islands right there. I'm not really sure about the names of these islands. I'm on Bangaram. Agatti is on that side. It's about 8 to 10 nautical miles on this side. There I can see Indian Coast Guard helicopter, and the helicopters keep ferrying around all these islands. The main purpose of these helicopters is to ferry around locals and Coast Guard officials in and around Lakshadweep, between Kavarati, which is the capital, and other islands, just for other stuff. Now the helicopters, they do fly low. They also land at Agatti airport. You also have an option to fly inside the helicopter for 800 rupees per head. That again depends from where to where you're flying. Okay guys, so it's about day 2 today in the morning at 7:15. I'm here at the jetty, just sitting over here for some time. The next plan is to head and have some breakfast and then go snorkeling. And then in the evening we're going kayaking. So that's the plan for today. Stay tuned. In front of me you can see a relatively large number of coconut remains. Now from there is one slope. It's pretty steep. It goes all the way down, and then there is a sudden gap between both of them, and so there's a huge area. It's a patch that is very deep. It goes immediately, there's no slope until this extent, so the slope comes all the way down and then it immediately goes deep, and that's where you find turtles and fish and large schools of fish and the marine life. which is also why the jetty is located here, so that any boat that is supposed to ferry you around any of those islands can approach from either that jetty where that boat is located or this jetty where I'm standing right now. So we just finished eating breakfast. Next step is we're going for an island walk along the coast, and then later on we'll get into the water and do some water sports. Either snorkeling, scuba diving is tomorrow, and then yeah, we can enjoy. Now before I continue with the journey, let's talk a little bit about how you can get to Lakshadweep and the islands here from any major city in India. I'm coming from Bangalore over here, and what I did was I took a flight from Bangalore to Kochi, and from Kochi I took another flight from Kochi to Agatti. Agatti is the airport that is in Lakshadweep, like I mentioned earlier. Now if you have to come from any major city, you have to come to Kochi wherever you are. Even if you are in Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, anywhere, you need to take a flight to Kochi, and from Kochi there is only one flight to Agatti. There is a helicopter service. The helicopter service is relatively slow. Its main purpose is to ferry people around different islands in Lakshadweep itself, but it is available. It is an option. You also have an option of coming through ship. There is a ship from Kochi to Minikoi, which is another island in Lakshadweep. That takes, I think, 56 hours to come, which is a long time. So if you have a lot of time and you really want to go for a boat ride, then yes, that ship is, I think, your great option. Okay, so guys, we just finished freshening up after going snorkeling and walking in the morning. It's now 1:15, time for lunch. So we're going to have some lunch, and then in the evening possibly kayaking again, or we'll go snorkeling all over again. So guys, we just finished having lunch after playing in the beach for some time. It was amazing. It's afternoon right now. The time is, I think, 2:30 right now. So it is late in the afternoon. After some time I'll be heading out and just take a walk on the island. We're right now heading for a turtle watch. So we're going with the boat out to sea. You can see behind me right now. So the water here is deep, around 30 feet, and the moment you see the light blue water ahead of you, that's when it gets a little shallow because there's a land nearby. So there's an island right there, and there's an island right here. This is Bangaram, where we stay, and that is Tinakara. That is another island. Not much of habitation. It's just used for some water activities, and yeah, as you keep going ahead, you'll go to different islands. Floating shallow waters. Okay, so today is the fourth day of traveling to Lakshadweep. I've been here for 4 days. It is really hard to get footage of snorkeling. Unfortunately, you can get great footage from a GoPro if you are going scuba diving. The plan today is to head to the sandbank that is right there behind me. You can walk all the way. It's extremely shallow. It's low tide right now, so there are no waves. It's not really deep. There are no animals. There are no organisms. There are no coral reefs. So you can just walk through that sandbank there and head back just for fun. After that, head for breakfast, and then we're going to go to Shipwreck. Shipwreck is another snorkeling spot that is a little more farther than Coral Garden, something that we went yesterday and day before yesterday. Coral Garden is amazing. You find beautiful, colorful coral, colorful fish. Shipwreck is a little farther, it's near the rough seas. There you would find more of fish and less of coral, obviously, because of the shipwreck. Today is the last day of staying in Lakshadweep. Yesterday I did some scuba diving. We also went to the shipwreck snorkeling. Some of the footage that you saw were the footage that I took while I was scuba diving. Saw some great stuff, but as of now I'm here near the sandbank. It is extremely windy. The clouds are grey in color. There is a rain prediction. So my only worry is if it rains, then the boat to Agatti or the airport may get cancelled, and if that gets cancelled, the flight gets cancelled, and I'll have to sit here for another day extra. While walking along the coast, I found this tree bark that was filled with crab shells, like you can see there. So the crab really, when it sees anybody that it feels will threaten it, then it closes itself like that and gets inside the shell. And just like that, there are many on this tree bark. And there are different types and different shapes of shells. This one is something that you see very regularly when you come to beaches. This is a cone-shaped shell, and this looks like a conch. That one isn't moving at all, it's just there. It knows that I'm here, so it feels like I'm threatening it. You see smaller ones, and then later they grow in size. And then inside, you find the bigger crab shells right there. Those are the ones that you see, those are the big ones. This is their home. This tree must have fallen years ago, so the crabs made their home. Right behind that currently 11 o'clock. The boat was supposed to leave to Agatti at around 10 o'clock. It was supposed to leave, but it started to rain and it still is raining. So we don't know right now. We cannot leave to Agatti unless the plane that is supposed to land at Agatti starts from Kochi. So it's kind of confusing. It is a confusing situation. We don't know what's going to happen right now. The luggage is loaded in the boat right there behind me. It's raining slightly, it's drizzling. But it is really hard to get onto the boats and sail across to Agatti in the rain and in choppy waters. So right now, still waiting for confirmation whether we're going to go to Agatti or stay here. We finally got in the news that the flight that was supposed to take us from Agatti to Kochi got cancelled. The weather was bad. Kochi received a lot of rainfall, and so because of that, visibility for the aircraft pilots was very low, as well as turbulence. There was a lot of turbulence along with luggage for a lot of people, and so the flight got cancelled. So next plan is to reschedule for tomorrow, and then we'll head back to Bangalore. These are some of the dead corals and some of those rocks that you find on the beach. At one point in time, the waves used to come up till this distance, and even now they do during extremely high tides. Right now, they're just there. The rain has stopped. That's the island Tinakara, next to that Parali. And as you keep going further, if you look at the horizon, you can see the rough sea. I can see the huge waves from here. Agatti is this way, so If you move the boat from the jetty that is over there all the way here, you're going to enter the rough sea, and then as you keep going, you're going to see Agathi. Agathi is about 15 kilometers from here. But if you go that way, you're going to go to Minicoy. Minicoy is another island in Lakshadweep. It's the island that is farthest from all the other islands. So out of the 36 islands in Lakshadweep right now, only 10 are inhabited and the remaining are occupied by people. Tinakara and Parali are 2 out of the 10 islands that are inhabited, but yes, people do keep going over there for the beach, especially international travelers. And so as you keep going, you can go through a ferry. Those boats right there, they can take you to Tinakara. It's very short distance. It's about 1.5 to 2 kilometers, and the water in the middle is shallow. You have a lot of coral reefs. There are buoys in the middle that indicate snorkeling, and coral gardens over there, so that it indicates that it's a great point for snorkeling also. So Minicoy is that way. Minicoy is actually closer to Maldives instead of Lakshadweep, and if you go straight, you're going to enter the Lakshadweep Sea or the Lakshadweep Sea, and then you're going to enter Indian waters. So that side is Kochi and Kerala, and a little towards the west is Mangalore and northern parts of Karnataka. One thing that you will observe over here is a lot of sandbags, and these sandbags are actually brought all through the boats from Agathi and different islands, because right now the government is planning to install underground internet cables, because here you have no internet at all. You have to rely on BSNL, which also there are a few points where the network is strong, and everywhere else you don't really get good network. So you can't even talk to family members or anybody really on the phone unless you have a great connectivity with your phone. So yeah, the sandbags are here. There's cement, there's a lot of stuff that is dumped over here. There's a JCB somewhere there that digs the ground, and they're going to install an underground internet cable, and so in a few more months there's going to be internet here, making it a lot easier for people to connect with the outside world. This is Bangaram Lake. It's become a swamp completely. There is weed on both the sides, and there's just water in the middle, nothing else. It's the dead center of the island, and so that side, if you go, that's the coast, and if you head behind me is also the coast. So in all directions, this is like the center of the island. So it was raining all this while. This is near the sandbank, and the cemented area that you can see is actually a helipad. The helipad now has puddles. I think almost every single day you see a helicopter land that's mostly carrying locals or supplies or even staff members. It's a small one. It comes all the way from Agathi. Agathi is that way, so if you walk on the coast you can actually see Agathi from a distance, especially in the night. You can see the lights. And over here, this is the helipad with that big hitch, and so because the wind direction is constant all the time, it's always this way or this way. It again depends on the tides. The helicopter goes all the way like that, takes a circle, and then it lands here, and while taking off it goes this way. It goes against the wind. So while coming, it lands with the wind. There's again a pole right there that shows the wind direction, and based on that the helicopters land. Bad weather right now, trying to hold tight and reach Agathi as soon as possible before the storm starts.